Weathering the weather with Ed. Sometimes he's cranky, sometimes he's goofy, but he's always got a joke. Before I met him, I said meteorology. Hey, guy, that's not for me. But now I'm weathering the weather with Ed.
Well, who are you? We're back again, and I'm yelling, what is today's topic?
Today we are going to be talking about flooding.
That's correct. Woohoo.
Okay.
It's hot in here. Beginning to get my sweat mustache. All right. So we have a few, what do you call them, shout-outs? A few notices.
We have a few shout-outs.
Why is it a shout-out? I don't get it.
Shout-out. Have you ever heard on the radio they do shout-outs? They're like, hey, I want to give a shout-out to, and they usually shout out their name and their birthday.
I don't listen to that station.
Okay, well, we do them here. So we're going to do birthdays.
Birthdays.
I love birthdays.
Do you love birthdays?
Mine is in August. Don't forget my present.
So is mine.
Don't forget. When's yours?
Will you need a adjoining room?
No. All right. Joanna, her birthday.
It's Johanna, please.
Johanna.
I told you that before.
Her birthday is 4/15. Katie, 3/13.
Really?
Amy, 1/16. And Kim, 3/12. Happy birthday.
It's nice how you do that.
Ladies.
Don't say March 15th because then they would know. I think they think these are times.
Oh, I figured.
Go ahead. What do you...
Also, we're going to say hi to Oliver, which is Johanna's dog, and Connor, which is Joanna's son. Don't get them confused.
All right. What?
Okay. Benjamin the Fish is also celebrating his 6th month anniversary today at Middlesex Savings Bank.
A little plug there.
Good job, Benjamin. Staying alive, swimming along.
Want me to sing this song?
To our Australian fans, what's going on in Australia? There's a big wedding.
That's right.
July 5th.
I hear they're going to go to Europe on their honeymoon. I asked the mother, who would be the mother-in-law, one of them, if they're going to drive to Europe, take the land bridge.
And what'd she say? No.
She said, "I don't think so." All right. So we have questions here from people who had nothing to do, so they sent them in. All right.
All right. First question is.
I can't read this sheet. Go ahead.
First, of course.
Yes.
Of course, you can't read it. He printed it out.
Go.
First question is from Lee Lavdis. What role do... Where's he from?
Robbins, Georgia.
One of Robbins. All right. What role do hurricanes play in flooding?
Big time, I'm telling you. A lot of water in a short period of time. Okay?
Quick.
And we could... I'll read this later to refresh.
He
whatever.
also wants to know what is the quote-unquote training as in thunderstorms.
All right. Y'all know... You all know about a choo-choo train. This is right.
Train.
Say something to me. Choo-choo train. Give me a whistle here. All right.
Conductor hat. The train.
Choo-choo train, right? All right. Goes on a track. When thunderstorms form, sometimes they continue to form and they go on, move off through the same areas over and over again. I'm getting dizzy with this.
So.
And that's called training. And if you're down below, look out. It's called flooding. Yes.
And he also wanted to know, and how about snowmelt?
Speaking of snowmelt.
Snowmelt.
Well, we've been having it, and then we're going to put rain on top of it tomorrow.
Oh, that sounds
It's very
lovely.
exciting.
Lovely. Hopefully it's still going to be warm out.
44 is warm and dropping.
Hey, you know what? 44 is better than 31. That'd be freezing.
It was 54 today. What do you want from me?
54 is pretty amazing. Do you know the song, Flooding in Texas?
Not really.
Did you hear about it? It's by Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Wait.
Talk about the famous Johnstone flood, how crops depend on flooding along the Nile
Actually,
River.
I think it's Johnstown, but that's okay. He didn't spell it right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Pennsylvania. Boy, did they get flooded. Okay, that's enough about them.
That's it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Jeff.
How crops depend on flooding along the Nile
Yes,
River. Okay.
I said that.
No, you didn't. You said the Johnstown flood. The Nile River is in what country? Danielle, what country is it in? No clue. All right. It starts with an E.
Egypt.
All right,
Get
good. Egypt, yes. Doesn't rain that much, and if the Nile doesn't flood, where are you going to get water from?
Nowhere.
That's correct.
Exactly. Better start digging your hole deep.
All right.
Jeff, he wants to know what is meant by above flood stage, or how many inches of moving flood waters.
Moving, yeah.
Moving flood waters does it take to float a car? So he wants to know pretty
Then
much
he
how much
says, "Had
pressure.
enough."
How much pressure of water does he want to know?
Yeah, but with the whole, when it says about flood stage, every river has a stage above which it's trouble.
Yeah, correct.
Thank you. So if your flood stage is 18 feet and you're above, that means anything above 18 feet, it's coming over.
Be careful.
Yeah, that's correct.
So how much water does it take to flood?
Depends on your car.
Good
If
answer.
you're driving a semi, it takes you a lot. No, actually, it's easy to start these things floating.
Well,
This was Jeffrey Michelle from Coppell, Texas,
Yes.
which is a suburb of Dallas. Big D, little A, double L A S, Dallas.
Dallas.
Thank you.
With climate change, with infrequent flooding become more frequent?
Who said that?
I'm assuming it is either Jeff
Oh,
or
that's
Joe.
Marion. Marion Deutschmann from near Buffalo, New York. Everybody know where Buffalo is? It's the end of I-90. Mass Pike becomes the New York State Thruway, and then it goes out through New York State to Buffalo. I think
Buffalo,
she
New
might,
York.
I don't know if it's Lancaster, but it doesn't matter. She's northeast of the city. Okay. What's her question?
She wants to know, will infrequent flooding become more frequent
With the
with the climate change?
Yes. It's assuming you're not in an area which is dry. But then again, California was dry, and they got heavy
Pretty
rain,
dry,
and what the
yeah.
heck, they got flooded.
So you
Not
never
good.
know.
What you want to do to end the drought, as we said, as we said, you want a steady light rain for days and days, not these heavy downpours. You got nowhere to go, except in your basement.
Exactly. Not
All right,
good.
thank you.
My basement flooded. Marianne also wants to know.
How about Marion?
That's
She changed her name.
Marianne.
Marianne is on Gilligan's Island.
She also wants to know, how do we determine appropriate responsibilities for potential victims, the insurance companies and the government, especially in the area that only experiences infrequent flooding?
What is a national flood program? You buy the insurance separately. Your normal insurance doesn't cover flooding.
You know, I was just talking to somebody about this because he was talking about having a house in Florida, and he was saying that he had to get different insurance for his house because of high winds and because of
They don't cover high winds.
hurricanes.
Well, hurricanes would be good too because of the
Well,
flooding.
he was saying it was different because it was two different types of
That's correct.
of insurances, even though it was pretty much categorized under the same thing.
Yeah, well, the water is one thing. You get it in the national. Just happen to have it here because we do it. It's called the National Flood Insurance Program. Now get this: since standard homeowners insurance doesn't cover flooding, it's important to have protection from the floods associated with hurricanes. Yes, tropical storms, heavy rains, and other conditions that impact the U.S. Okay, program was started in 1968. You can get it through your insurance company. Will tell you how to get it.
Wouldn't it be your homeowner's insurance company that would?
There's not, well, not the car, homeowners.
Yeah.
They'll tell you how to get it.
Gotcha.
All right. And how much you pay depends on what area you're in. I mean, if you're underwater to begin with, it might be a problem. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Your rate will go up.
Mr. Joe.
Dr. Joe Moran
Joe
from
Moran.
Green Bay, Wisconsin, University of
Yes.
Wisconsin. We were going to invite him here, but then nobody would cough up the money to get him here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
By the way, this wonderful show of ours, yes, it
So
started a year ago. Let's hear it from the control room. Hey, all right, hey.
yay.
I don't think anybody's in the control room today. Okay.
All right.
All right.
So Joe wants to know, all of the factors being equal, how do the physical properties of the ground surface, i.e. soil type,
IE, yeah? For
IE.
example, it's IEG.
e.g.,
Close enough.
close enough, affect the percent of rain that runs off the ground versus the percent of rain that skins into the ground?
Yes. If your ground is paved, look out. It's flooding. You want to have grass there and vegetation on the soil because that tends to pull it in, hold it. I don't think sand's very good.
Probably not the best.
I don't think if you want to put like a baseball warning track next to your house, that's not good either because it's hard packed. Not going to work. So you have to be important. That's why it floods more frequently in the You get the flash flooding, well, they have urban and street flooding because it's cement. I hear it's hard to get in.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. All right. Thank you, Joe.
That actually brings me to my next question. What is flash flooding?
That's when somebody
what is
puts
a
a
flash
flashlight on. Flash flooding is you get a heavy thunderstorm or something like that, or heavy shower.
Okay, heavy shower.
And you're usually happens in a paved area. It can't go in, so it floods. All right.
Can't sink in the ground. Got it.
Yeah. So in an area whereas if it's paved, unpaved, you have a better chance of it not flooding.
So,
Although some of these thunderstorms are so heavy that even if it's a grassy area, it's too bad. It can't go in. It's raining too hard to go into the ground. It's a flash. Like that.
quick.
There's a flood.
Snap of a finger.
You go chase your house somewhere.
Can you identify conditions that might cause a flash flood in a desert?
Heavy rain.
Heavy rain.
Because it's sand. Where's it going to go?
Exactly.
And remember this. A kiss is but a kiss. Oh, wait a minute. Remember this, Danielle. Wake up. Oh, hi, Danielle. Hi. Thank you, Danielle. In the desert, if you're going to camp out, do not camp out on a desert floor. Because if there's no rocks, then, if there's rocks there, don't camp out in the low area. Because if there's a thunderstorm during the night, you're going to wake up somewhere else if you wake up. Because you're not going to be there.
Oh, good.
It's good to know.
Good to know.
Thank you.
So sleep on the rocks when you're in a desert.
Right. It may not be comfortable.
I was going to
but at
say,
least
well, where are you going to find the rocks? I mean.
No, if you're in a valley. Then,
Oh, okay.
You go up on the rocks a little.
Gotcha.
All right.
Why are urban areas subject to flooding during episodes of heavy rain?
Have we covered that already?
Well,
That's because
my
they're
next
paved
question.
and there's no place for the water to go. Right, Danielle?
That's right.
Danielle says yes. There must be something off here. Go ahead.
Can you distinguish between stormwater drains versus sanitary
Yes.
sewer drains?
What? It says sanitary sewer drains?
That-
I can't read these
That's why I double looked at
What?
sanitary sewer
Sanitary,
drains.
you're right.
All
All
right,
right,
thank
stormwater drains. That just takes the precipitation away. Like the sewers in the street. Oh, we don't have them, I'm sorry. And now a sanitary sewer, not sanitary, right?
Yeah.
That's where all the waste products, they go through piping underground. Yes? I guess you
Yes.
don't want it upstairs.
No.
Okay, so that's the difference. So what you would see is the water going down, and that's not sewage, unless somebody had just, But that's another story.
Can you, are there certain times of the year where floods are more common? And can you explain why they're more common?
No, I can't. Because more times, it depends on where you are. If you got snow melt in the spring here,
Yeah, I
heavy
was going
rain.
to say sometimes like in the spring or fall.
It's mostly,
when it
usually it's in
rains.
the fall. That's when they usually dry. It's mostly, some is some, but this time of year, if you have snow melt going on, and it rains on top, like tomorrow, and that's pretty exciting. The next time would be thunderstorms.
Thunderstorm?
Or if you're in a drought area, take those glasses off. Or if you're in a drought area, such as California, it rained hard and they flooded. There you go.
Exactly.
You can't
They have
win.
mudslides everywhere.
Well, yeah, they taste good. They're also less filling.
They do.
Thank you. Is anybody in there? There they are. I see them.
Explain how a nor'easter or tropical storm triggers coastal flooding along the Atlantic coast.
The winds.
What?
The strong winds blows the water in off the ocean. You want to go to Hull?
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Go to Revere Beach. Well, I wouldn't go. Go to anywhere along the water with the wind blowing in at 70 miles an hour. Not good.
And then you're definitely going to get a flood.
That's right.
Anywhere near the coast.
Right. I don't care what drains you have.
Yep,
You're
exactly.
gone.
Those drains aren't really going to help that much.
Well, tell me how nice it is on a hot day with a sea breeze. Okay.
When driving or hiking in areas of great
Topographic. Topo Gigio. He was with Ed Sullivan. Go ahead.
topographic
That's
relief,
right.
it is a good idea to watch for signs of potential flooding.
You're darn right. As I said before, notice the correct English again.
Gotcha.
As I said before, you got it? As I says,
Go ahead.
you don't want to be in a low area. You're on the desert, there's a problem, because what's the water going to do? It just sits there. You take a bath and then look out.
Then what are you going to do?
Sort of like the parking lot here. They were stocking it with fish in the back here. It's a big puddle.
That's a big puddle.
Big puddle. All right.
Gross.
You call me gross? Go ahead.
Well, don't drink the water after you take a bath.
I don't.
Just thinking about it.
What?
Explain how ice dams on rivers may cause flooding during the spring snow melt and ice warms.
All right. Ice breakup. Isn't it?
Yep,
It's
it
hard.
is.
Breaking up is
But
hard
I'm
to
thinking
do.
it's warming up, it's
That's
breaking
right.
up.
All right, so they
It's
already
doing
had
all
some
in
of
one.
that. Well, it gets warmer, so the cracks develop in the ice, and then it diverts the water. Yeah, because the ice gets hung up in
Gotcha.
places, and the water.
Where it's not supposed to be.
Yeah, and I said, I can't stay here, so the water floods. They already had some of that. And stay tuned.
Stay
It's
tuned.
springtime. They'll be coming up.
Uh-oh.
I hear there's not much ice in the water in there. Well, maybe at the bar, but not in the. Will you turn this way? Thank you. Not in whatever. Ice in the rivers is summertime, right? All right.
Gotcha. Ice in the rivers, the ice floats away, goes to a different part, area floods. Got it.
It doesn't float. It jams it. It
It
stops
jams it.
moving.
Yeah, exactly. So it's an ice dam, which causes the flood.
Did you say dam?
Ice dam.
That's correct. All right,
All
good.
right. Why is it never a good idea to drive your car or attempt to walk across a flooded street or road?
Because you're stupid. That's why. You don't know how deep the water is or how what's under there, right? You don't know how deep.
Exactly.
And if the guy in
Bad
front of
idea.
you disappeared, this should be a hint. I was with Moses in the desert when it flooded. I said, Mo.
Can you do something about that?
Yeah, I
And
said,
then he-
look,
no.
look, I told you to put swords in here. Come on. All right, the camel disappeared. But Kermit was fine. All right.
As a general rule of thumb, 20 inches of ice
I'm
will
going to do
melt
20
down.
inches of snow. It's 10 to 1. Yeah.
10 to 1?
For instance, 10 inches of snow. Huh? 1 inch of rain. Well, I'm changing it. 1 inch of rain when it's very cold, you can get 20 inches of snow, but there's no water. It's fluff.
Okay, so my question
When
is...
it's don't you start. When it's when the snow is waterlogged, you can get only 2 inches. You get 2 inches out of it because it's the cement we get this time of year.
Yeah.
That's a lot of water in there.
That
That's
is a
why.
lot of water in
It's
there.
a lot of water, which is my flip side song.
A lot of water.
Go ahead.
Identify some features that are built along rivers to control flooding.
Levees, dams.
Beavers.
No, beavers do that.
I'm just kidding.
There's dikes. There's retention ponds. Yes, things like that.
quite a bit of stuff.
We'll get in there, maybe. Oh, temporary perimeter barriers, self-closing flood barrier. All right, things like that. Okay, defenses such as levees. I drove my levee to the Chevy. Or was it the Chevy to the levee? Bunds, which of course that's hot cross bunds, reservoirs. Used to protect rivers from bursting their banks. I hate when they burst their banks, I'll tell you. They're not the FDIC insured. Go ahead. Now they're going to ask, what the heck is that?
This was actually my
ahead.
last question. Identify some features that are built along the seacoast to control flooding.
Restaurants, so they can float away, right? What goes on in California.
They build restaurants to
Well,
float
they
away.
put up they can put up sand, right?
Sand
They
what?
got to rebuild the sand sometimes because Mother Nature moves it. Correct?
Correct, that is
All
correct.
right. Keep going. There's a final one.
That's all I got. That was the final one.
Go, please.
I already gave it to you.
What?
Identify some features that are built along the seacoast to control flooding.
Well, I don't feel like it. I'll get it. Hold that question. Is that it?
That is it.
All right. Let's get to any questions from the audience. Yes, Danielle. Danielle doesn't talk. 2 weeks in a row she's been here and she doesn't come up. Come on.
Do you know? I have a question about flooding. Do you know?
I'm sorry.
Do you know the
What? No.
like the world record for the area that has flooded, that has had the most water,
My toilet.
and how much was it?
I don't know. No. What do you think I am?
I was thinking about-
Google?
What would be a fun fact
No, I know.
about floods?
Taste to pay the best at all. It's Google. All right, hurricanes and I don't know.
Okay.
Probably in a mountainous region or a river that floods a lot.
Somewhere.
Jeez. Some of these places in India, they get 500 inches of rain a year,
That's a lot.
That'd be a
of
lot. I
rain.
wouldn't want to be down below.
Yeah, no.
All right, hurricanes and floods. All right. Be prepared. Keep liquid household bleach on hand. I would hope to clean it up afterwards, right? All right. Okay.
Don't want mold.
No, it's tasty. Store a supply of food, water, and medication on shelves that will be safely out of the water in case of flooding. I think that's a good idea. What else? Know where you can get dry ice. I've got a frozen carbon dioxide. First on my list. Know what to do in case of power outage. Candles, baby.
Flashlights.
That too. All right. When flooding occurs, use bottled water not exposed to flood water if available.
Why would you want to drink flood water?
Because you're thirsty. Not a good idea.
I mean, I feel like that would be a
You'd be
ice situation, like in case of emergency.
If you're dying of thirst, that's not.
That,
If bottled water is not available, boil water for 1 minute, which is going to be hard if you
have no electricity,
That's
so you
right.
better get them
That's
rocks
on-
started.
Let it cool. Let it cool and store it in clean containers. Now, how about dirty containers? All right.
Ugh.
Don't drink water from a well that is flooded unless the water has been tested and shown to be safe to drink.
That's cute.
Thank you. All right, food safety. Do not eat any food directly exposed to flood water. Does that make sense? So at Dunkin', they dip it in. You would dip it in and then serve it at a discount.
Why not?
All right, thoroughly wash, rinse, and sanitize. Ooh. Using a solution of 1 tablespoon household bleach in 1 gallon of water. What am I, Julia Child? All right. What's this? All metal pans, ceramic dishes, and utensils, including can openers and countertops. You got to sanitize everything. Give up eating. All right.
Let me just whip out my sanitizer.
Guess what?
spray
Yeah,
out
the first thing I'll
everything
do is, can I sanitize this? Let me spit on it to sterilize it. All right, control of floods. Right? Bring it up again. Why don't you read this? Read some red stuff. Keep it going.
there. Okay.
Go.
Control of floods.
A little
These
faster, we have
methods include
6:40 left.
planting vegetation to retain extra
Could
water.
you look up occasionally? Go ahead. Your audience is here.
Other
All right.
techniques include construction of levees, lakes,
Thank
dams,
you.
reservoirs.
Thank you.
That's it.
Can you?
That's-
It's too much information. I might drove my ship. All right. You have dams. Everybody know what a dam is? Go look at the Hoover Dam. All right. We have. Get this. This is self-closing flood barrier, better known as CFB. There's a flood defense system designed to protect people and property from inland water floods that are caused by heavy rain, gales, or rapid melting snow. Should be rapidly melting snow.
Snow.
But what do we care? All right, they use this in Europe. Likes to use them in Thailand too. All right, we did river defenses before. I pulled the plug on the river. Coastal defenses, I know.
Coastal.
Tide gates are used in conjunction with dikes and culverts. You know what a culvert is. They can be placed at the mouth of streams or small rivers where an estuary. Oh, this is getting good. Where's the mouth of the Mississippi? And don't tell me the mouth is where it empties out into a bigger body of water. So where would it be in the Mississippi? Gulf of Mexico. Gulf of Mexico is correct. Sometimes they have gates, and they can open and close the gates so they can make the level of water change.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Thank you.
You know, there's the Clinton Dam actually is very, very big. Have you ever been there?
No, I haven't. Is this in Clinton, Mass?
It's yeah, it's actually very beautiful. Like they put up gates because you can't. Bad story, but I mean,
You don't want anybody falling in.
they put up gates there so nobody can walk on the dam any longer. But there used to be like you can go down the stairs and walk down one side and walk up the other, and it's beautiful. And they actually have one of the big levees to let some water out, put it back up.
Yeah, they're right. They changed
Yeah,
it.
they changed it.
They have any shipping going through?
No.
There was a show on TV. I forgot. It was British comedy. They're waiting. There's a weir, and they're waiting there for the water to go up and down. They stop, and they didn't notice it, and they're dredging. So they picked up this stuff, and boom! Then they wanted the guy who was handling the level of the water. Would you open it up, please? You know, he says it's not that fast. Gosh. All right, health trauma of floods. Okay. They found that the health trauma of floods may last after waters subside. Okay? I'm going to say okay again until I finish. Read the black area, please.
Sure, that's
Outline
quite a
it.
bit.
350. Go.
But that could be just part of my story. On the immediate traumatic deaths from the flood are recorded.
What?
Says the net. This is the black area, correct?
Go ahead, yeah.
Okay.
I'm
So
not
they're
dramatic
talking about they're
about
talking about a death. Traumatic deaths from flooding are recorded, says the National Flood Emergency Framework, England. Negative effects on
Nobody can. You're slurring. Sure, you've been up since 2 a.m.
He wants me to read it, doesn't want me to read it. I'm reading too
All right,
slow.
but,
Now I'm reading
but
too
could,
fast.
all right, thank you. Only the immediate traumatic deaths from flooding, the immediate deaths
That's
are recorded. I know. Negative effects on well-being may persist for months or even years after the flood. No, I'm not depressed and my house got washed away. What do I care? And the insurance company still hasn't coughed up? The main evidence it's a study. People forced to abandon their homes for months suffer intense stress. No kidding. Causing anxiety. It sounds like they work at Dunkin'. Depression. Act depressed. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Yeah, baby. And potentially worsening physical ailments. I don't know. I got them all anyway.
not good. Not good.
Not good. Now, here's some flood driving facts. You asked that question before, did you not? Just so you. Flood driving facts. The following are important points to remember when driving in flood conditions. Get this one. You asked about cars. 6 inches of water will reach the bottom of most passenger cars, causing loss of control and possible stalling. It's the least you probably have. You won't have to wash the car, though. A foot of water will float many. There it is. A foot of water will float many vehicles. So go out there with your ruler and check it out. Do not attempt to drive through a flooded road. The depth of the water is not always obvious. I told you, right? The road bed may be washed out under the water, and you could be stranded or trapped or killed. Do not drive around a barricade. Well, that would be a genius, wouldn't
Yeah,
it? Hey, they blocked it off. I'm going this way.
Let's go around it.
Yeah, let's go around. Barricades right into the water. Barricades are there for your protection. Turn around and go the other way. Yeah, you're saving gas. I'm going straight ahead. Do not try to take shortcuts. But they're not going to be shortcuts. Thank you for joking. They may be blocked. Stick to designated evacuation routes. But that's too easy, right? Be especially cautious. Be especially cautious driving it out because there's a rumor that it's harder to see what's going on at night. Is that true?
It is.
All right. Says here for Joe's question. Very good. Now, here are some flood hazard terms. Go right ahead. We have 1:19 to go. Come on, go ahead.
Flood watch. Flooding is possible.
What is this?
Yes.
Flooding is possible.
Tune in the NOAA weather radio, commercial radio, or television for information.
NOAA is the National Oceanic and Atmospheric.
Yes.
Thank you.
Flash flood watch. Flash flooding is possible. Be prepared to move to higher ground. Listen to the who? Who we
Never
listen
mind,
to?
just keep going.
NOAA. Who are they?
The
We'll listen-
National Oceanic and Atmospheric.
There
have
we go.
51
We're
seconds.
listening
Go.
to them. Weather radio commercial.
All right, wait a minute. If there's a warning, that means it's going, baby.
Exactly. Flood warning. Flooding is occurring or will occur soon. Be advised to evacuate. Do so immediately. Flash flood warning. A flash flood is occurring. Seek higher ground on foot immediately.
Unless you don't feel like surviving. All right.
So flooding is bad.
Yeah, all right,
Listen to the warning.
before, you want to build an emergency kit. Have a communication plan with your family, if you don't like your family. Causes of flooding. Tropical storms and hurricanes. Spring thaw, which is coming up. I remember her. Heavy rains, west coast threats. Storms coming off the Pacific. You can do levees and dams to stop it. All right? Okay. And we during a
A
flood.
lot of good information.
A lot of good information.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Bye-bye. Keep smiling. Thank you, Danielle. And I don't hear anything. No, let's keep going. Look at that, around town. Can't hear anything out here. Okay.